you, friend. Shabbat Shalom and greetings to you all. Now, such a mixture of events transpires in our lives in very short periods of time, many of which are not necessarily planned. Every week, each of us can have a cornucopia of events occur. So when you get asked what happened this week, do not say nothing. For each of us, there are many different things, each reflecting another relationship, some of which we never even think about. But relish them all, enhance them all, enjoy them all, learn from them all. Now, this week, my dear friend Lori had a birthday. There was nowhere to go and celebrate, no one to see. But that does not take away its meaning or its significance. And people will wish her a happy birthday from wherever they are, and she will feel those good wishes. And I hope you all took a moment to digitally join or celebrate the double holiday of Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut. The first is the Israeli Memorial Day, the official remembrance day for the military members of the nation, which is just about everybody. And if you've ever been fortunate enough to be at Mount Herzl National Cemetery for the celebration, it's riveting. The other, which takes place the next day, is Independence Day, commemorating when David Ben-Gurion publicly read the Declaration of Independence of Israel on its creation. And we should all, everywhere, honor our independence, our freedom, our inalienable rights to joy and self-determination, our God-given rights to truly live in the image of God. Now, even solemn occasions are celebratory. Human beings are gregarious. Since the dawn of time, we've created groups, societies, communities. And we're reading about the formation of a society in the desert right now, in the wilderness generation. But if our need to congregate and be social is timeless, the form that our communities take is deeply influenced by historical circumstances that go on around us. The concept of community is central to Judaism, which again is forefront in today's reading, and to the ethos of the Jewish people. But community, our way of being together, our way of organizing our collective lives has changed. It's evolved as the world has transformed. In the 21st century, in societies rocked by philosophical, technological, social, and economic upheavals, in a world where many of the old patterns of behavior, affiliation, and identity have changed, the traditional model of community is in crisis. The current pandemic adds a layer of complexity to these changes, accelerating processes, making some of the ways of association obsolete. So what then is the future of community? We may not know. But we still seek to come together, to gather in the collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love as a community, a chavur of fellowship. As we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Bethruach, sharing, bringing light, keeping fear at bay. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, some physically, the rest digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually. Let's all gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good and how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Together as a community, my friends. This is your setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. We all believe in something. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. It's that energy we all have. And let's take some time now. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing renewal for everybody. Float through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. They all need renewal. For the earth, it's the healing of the world, the tikkun olam that's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Let's send thoughts and energy for health, for renewal, goodwill, for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds, for Brian, Lily, for Tally, for Dietrich, for Frank, Jen, for Anne, for Rosemary. Friends, it is the kindness, it's the healing wishes, the goodwill and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world's a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me, Shabbat, Avotenu, Bakor HaBracha, Limotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Misha Baruch, let us all have our spirits renewed, because this is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He is healed before. Misha Baruch, may He who blessed, because all healing's a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing, renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. We send out energy because we know what energy is, and we know that energy is real. Just the other day, I felt I was touched by an angel. Sometimes you just hear them. Sometimes you can sense them, but this was stronger, like Gloria knows. And it reminded me of the time I spent among them. Energy is a life force. The wilderness generation we're following right now understood it. We see much more of that every week. And this week we have another 2-part reading, to be followed by another 2-parter next week. Luckily, there's only a few weeks left till the instruction manual for the priesthood is finished. But it too is an unusual manual, because it understood the flow and power of energy, and it built it in. It understood the flow of life is based on relationships, to tribe, to family, community, and each relationship is an energy of its own. So remember to honor all the relationships of your life. It's like I had said to you last time, someday one last person will remember you for the last time. From that day forward, no one ever will. At that point, you melt into the wind. I'll remember you when I've forgotten all the rest. You, to me, were true. You, to me, were the best. When there is no more, you cut to the core, quicker than anyone I knew. When I'm all alone in the great unknown, I'll remember you. Now, Aaron's sons are dead. We saw them taken like a sacrifice, and Aaron is told not to mourn them, not to honor the sacred relationship of father and son, which involves memory. Instead, we get right to further division and definition, the great distinction, central theme of pure versus impure, clean versus unclean, the calling card of Leviticus, this book of the priests. And how will it be demonstrated? By dermatological disorders. As we read tazria and metzora, she will conceive, and leper. Leviticus 12:1. Should a woman quicken with seed, that is, be fertile and get pregnant, and bear a male, she shall be unclean 7 days. Now, what a statement that is. She will be unclean. Think about that. The very act of giving birth, the most natural event in the world, and to many, the real closest man gets to having creatorship like God, makes a woman unclean. We have a formula provided. If she has a son, 7 days impure and then 30 to repurify. If a daughter, it's double, 14 days and 60 days. Now, do you think this might have helped to perpetuate stereotypes that continue to this day? Let's not get into a debate about the status of women. Friends, this has perpetuated the view of a greater level of impurity of female to male. At the same time, it has enhanced the role of the priest as shaman to cleanse the impurity and act as guardian of the cult nation. It's not up for debate. She is unclean. It's a fact. And when she's pure again, she's to bring a burnt offering and an offense offering. As we're told in Leviticus 12:8, the priest shall atone for her. She shall be clean. She needs to be atoned for giving birth. Now, this is one of those places where translation really plays a pivotal role. It's very misleading to render the Hebrew chatat, as almost all English versions do, as sin offering. I use offense offering. The childbearing woman has done nothing that can be called a sin. The state of ritual impurity imposed on her by biological circumstances makes her a potential source of violation of the sancta, which would be an offense to the cult and to its divine object. So she's enjoined to present an offense offering that will mark the completion of her period of purification. But in almost every translation you see, it will always be referred to as a sin offering, perpetuating, the belief that it's a sin and there is no sin. We then see the extensive role of the priest. It's now developing, and he becomes the shaman. Leviticus 13:1. The Lord spoke to Moses and to Aaron, saying, should a person have on the skin of his body an inflammation or a rash or shiny spot, and it become the affliction of skin blanch on the skin of his body, he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or to one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall see the affliction on the skin of the body. And if the hair is the affliction is turned white, and the affliction seems deeper than the skin of his body, it is skin blanch. When the priest sees it, he shall declare him unclean. Now we've gone from menstruation, pregnancy, and delivery to another issue, one a little bit more visible, and again the subject of an incorrect translation. All older English translations represent the Hebrew tzarat, as talked about here as leprosy. However, modern scholars are virtually unanimous in rejecting this identification. It's now referred to as skin blanching. It's an alteration of the pigment of the skin. But leprosy, well, that has a much more powerful image to it, with skin and body parts falling off. Leprosy, what a sorry mess I am to see. Even friends can't stand to look at me. Oh, I despise my leprosy. Leprosy. Nobody likes leprosy. What you don't realize is there's a subtle undercurrent of moral lessons throughout this priestly manual, which somehow managed to combine ritual with moral and ethical law. Unheard of till this time. Leprosy was the punishment for speaking ill of someone, a slanderer. And there's plenty of slanderers around. It is a warning, and the warning is not to slander and not to gossip. And again, who's always in charge? It's that new class that we saw created. The guardian of the abyss, the priest. The priest is the doctor, the physical, the emotional, the spiritual. Perhaps the priest is really the witch doctor. Ting tang, walla walla, bing bang. Ooh-ee, ah, ting tang, walla walla, bing bang. My friend, the witch doctor, taught me what to say. My friend, the witch doctor, taught me what to do. Now the priest examines him, separates him from the tribe. The priest shall see him again on the seventh day. And look, if the affliction is faded, if the affliction is not spread onto the skin, the priest shall declare him clean. So everything is based upon the priest and his formulas. But if someone is afflicted, Leviticus 13:46 tells us, he shall call out, unclean, unclean. All the days that the affliction is on him, he shall remain unclean. He is unclean. He shall dwell apart. Outside the camp shall his dwelling place be. They are removed. The person is contaminated, and the contagion must be segregated till healed. This was 3,500 years ago, not yesterday, not today. What's fascinating is this is the story of a contagion, of the power of contamination. It can even affect the houses we live in. So the cleansing is not just of the person, it's of the structure, the home, the walls, the bed, the sheets. This, my friends, is about contagions, contaminations, the spread of conditions, and it's about purification. What a term. All the cleansing and purification take place in a particular fashion. Forget about the sacrifices. We've not seen one since Second Temple times. Notice instead the things we still do. We purify. We cleanse things. Notice also throughout the Bible, one of the most important phrases you will have not noticed, but it's still important to us because so much takes place with it, is over living water. Mayim chayim, fresh water, flowing from a well or other natural source as opposed to stagnant or stored water. Notice almost all these rituals, over living water. And that's why mikvahs, the ritual baths, are so important and have continued to be in the Jewish religion. Why you even find them on top of the desert fortress of Masada or the caves of Qumran by the Dead Sea. They are the cleansing apparatus of living water. To return to the primordial condition of our being at the beginning, the separation of the water from above and the water from below. What you're also going to notice, and I know you will because you're also aware, is that you're going to read that they use the herb hyssop again. It's mentioned again and again as the great cleanser of the Bible. It's used throughout this parsha. And of course, that was what we used to mark the doorposts and lintels for the halting, for Passover. Now, as in the laws pertaining to skin disease and mildew, the concern's not a medical one of contagion, but a ritual one of contamination. Tumah, impurity, uncleanness. The condition of ritual uncleanness can be conveyed through secondary contact and in some instances even tertiary contact. Here a substance merely touched by the unclean one can transmit the impurity. It's instant, it's automatic. In all this, the overriding preoccupation of the priestly writer is to protect the ritual purity of their special domain, the sanctuary. By instituting the system of sequestering, removing in order to prevent the spread of the contamination. Now, there's two types of issues with impurities, seen and unseen. And dermatological problems generally fall into the seen category. You see someone who's afflicted, you know they're different. We can harken back to the plagues. Seen differences can foster discrimination. Be careful. Yes, the world is sacred, so is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your lives, the lives of everybody you love. Share your feelings with them, live free, be free, honor your freedom. Be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everybody and end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life because they're their own energy. And tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have and enjoy the journey. We take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavanah, our cause, our effect, everything's linked. As I said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. And ask forgiveness, but do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who have hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Keep going towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching, keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith, the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind, because the deepest source of real power lies in consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. Make the most of your time in this life and continue to touch and transform the lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet, health, love, security, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous with them. Bless others and bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief in what they mean to you, not to anybody else, just you, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced others have too, we share together. We learn together. We help each other because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive. Keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. The greatest thing you can do. And continue to ask why, and look at what you hold as contaminated and condemned, and what you need to do to cleanse within yourself. See the arrow on the doorpost, saying, "This land is condemned." All the way from New Orleans to Jerusalem. But thank you for joining me, my friends. Keep sharing the light. Practice forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself. Continue to spread a little goodwill to the world. And continue being the miracle in other people's lives as people are a miracle in yours. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. We'll see you all again soon.